Hello and welcome to the Consistory of the coelc YouTube channel. I'm your host for this video, Reverend Zabel of St John's Evangelical Lutheran Church located in Dalby, Queensland, Australia. On today's video, I wanted to discuss the topic of emergency situations and the doctrine of emergencies. Now, this has been a long established doctrine in the church, but let's go through this doctrine, its scriptural foundations and its foundations in the Lutheran confessions and how it is to be applied. In the Gospels, Jesus established that the Jews could break the ordinance of the Sabbath in cases of emergency, and this was in particular to save lives. Here, Jesus was referring to the Jewish teaching of pikuach nefesh, or as we would translate it in English, soul saving. This teaching is based upon Leviticus 18:5 and Ezekiel 20:11. And the Jewish rule goes along something like, it is better to break the Sabbath and save a life so that the life may go on to keep many more Sabbaths. Jesus thus taught that it was okay to break God's order, ordinances and institutions in order to save a physical life. Therefore, the church has held that if it is appropriate to break God's ordinance in the case of saving a physical life, then of course we can break the ordinances of God in the cases of saving somebody's soul. It is for this reason that the church has for millennia allowed the breaking of God's order in cases of emergency, such as emergency baptism. So for example, in the church, a person is not to baptize unless they are called, and a person is not allowed to be called into the office of the ministry unless they are a male. However, in the case of an emergency, an uncalled female nurse could baptize a dying baby. The Book of Concord even discusses this, where it quotes St. Augustine, who taught that in cases of emergency, baptism and absolution can be performed by anyone, even a layman. So that is the doctrine of emergencies. When somebody's soul is at risk, we can forego the ordinances and institutions of God for the sake of saving their soul. This has been a very brief video. I just wanted to briefly discuss this doctrine of emergency. I've been your host, Reverend Zabel. Goodbye and God bless.